Sri Sai Ram. Yesterday we have discussed in the previous session about Bernoulli's trials and binomial distribution. We just solved one problem based upon it. We are going to solve many more problems today. But before we go for solving problems, let us recollect what we studied. What do we mean by Bernoulli's trials? Every time you toss a coin is called a trial. Any time you roll a die is called a trial. Number of times you repeat should be finite. You can roll it 10 times, 100 times, 15 times, but the number should be finite, should be known. That is the point number one. Second, they should be independent, means if you tossed a coin, suppose you got head, it should not affect second time when you toss the coin. So we say that the trials are independent. Trial should be finite, trial should be independent, and every trial should have only two outcomes. You can call it success and failure, yes and no, whatever it is, there should be only two options. Apart from this, whatever trials which we come across, suppose if it has got more than two options of yes and no, then we will not take into consideration as Bernoulli's trials. Now, what is the speciality about it? The speciality is we can find out, we can solve some problems by using binomial distribution. In the previous session, we have solved problems where we have studied about probability distribution. Now, we are going to solve problems with the help of binomial distribution. As we have said, every trial has got only two outcomes. One is yes, another is no. One is success, another is a failure. So what do? We take the success, the probability of success and probability of failure as two, and then we use them as two terms in the binomial expansion. Now the question comes, why we need to relate it with binomial distribution? In order to understand it, before we go for solving problems, let us take some examples. Now let us say we have, take a simple experiment of tossing a coin 3 times. When we toss a coin 3 times, what are the outcomes? The outcomes are, which we call it sample space. We know that these are the outcomes. Now, we are saying that the outcome should show either success or failure, yes or no. So, suppose P stands for probability of success, getting a head. Getting a head when a coin is tossed. Getting a head when a coin is tossed. So, what is the probability of getting a head when a coin is tossed? We know that it is 1/2. If P is probability of success, then what is the probability of failure? Let us say we call it Q. Getting a head, now we will say failure is getting a tail when a coin is tossed. And how much is this? This is also 1 by 2. Now, if you see the probability distribution which we studied earlier, of that, if you say x is the random variable, in this case the success is for all. So, we say it is 1 by 2 to the power 3, because it is 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 into 1 by 2. Whereas, in these three cases, there are 2 successes and 1 failure. So, but remember, order is not so important wherever it is. So, for one success it is 1 by 2, second success it is 1 by 2, and third one is a failure is also 1 by 2. So, it is also 1 by 2 cube. Like that we have 3 into. Whereas, if you take one success is also 3 into 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2. And finally, for no success it is 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2. Suppose this 1 by 2, 1 by 2 which we are writing, instead of that if we use P for success, Q for failure. So, what you will get? We will say x is equal to, let us say 1 by 2 cube. Here we have 3 successes, so we can say it is P cube. This can be written as 2 successes, so P square cube. One success can be written as 3 into P Q square, and this can be written as Q cube. Okay. 3 successes P cube, 2 successes 3 into P square cube, 1 success 3 into P q square, no success Q cube. Now, if you expand P plus Q whole cube, what you get? With the help of binomial expansion, it is it is 3c0 p cube plus 3c1 p square q plus 3c2 pq square plus q cube. Observe 3c0 is nothing but 1 into p cube. So, 1 into p cube. Next one is 3c1. What is 3c1? It is 3 into p square q, 3 into p square q. Next is 3c2. What is 3c2? Equal to 3c1. 3c1 equal to 3. So, 3 into pq square. And lastly 3c3. If you want, you can write here 3c3, which is again equal to 1. So, that makes it q cube. So, both match. But what we do is, while doing problem, we do not take P first, we take Q first. In that case, what you will get? You will get Q plus P whole cube to the power n actually is equal to nc0 q to the power n plus nc1 q to the power n minus 1 p plus nc2 q to the power n minus 2 p square, and it goes on like that. That can be written here. Let us say this is q plus p to the power n, can be written as nc0 q to the power n plus nc1 q to the power n minus 1 p nc2 q to the power n minus 2 p square dash dash dash. This what you are writing is actually known as, in the binomial expansion, r plus 1th term. So, how do you write it? NCR q to the power n minus r p to the power r dash dash dash. The last term is NCN q to the power 0 p to the power n. This is the binomial expansion, and which we are going to use for solving problems. Okay. So, with the help of this, all the problems can be solved without much difficulty. and if he asks a particular term, r plus 1th term formula we will be using. This is the one which we will be using for finding. What is it? NCR q to the power n minus r p to the power r. Now let us come to the problems. So let us solve this problem. What he says, there are 5 defective items in a large bulk of items. So P stands for defective items. How many defective items are there? 5%, that is 5 by 100. 5 by 100 you can write it as 1 by 20. So in that case what Q will represent? Non-defective items. How do you know? How do you find non-defective? 5% are defective, 95% are non-defective. So it is 95 by 100. In other words, 19 by 20. So what will be the binomial expansion? As I mentioned to you, we generally take it as Q plus P to the power n. So it will be 19 by 20 plus 1 by 20 to the power n. N stands for number of trials. How many items? Probability that a sample of 10 items will be included. So n is equal to 10. Now what is that he wants us to find out? He says there are 5% of defective items in a large bulk of items. What is the probability that a sample of 10 items will include not more than one defective item? Not more than one means what? It can be 1 or it can be 0. So probability of no defective item plus probability of one defective item. This is what we want to find out. How do you expand this? The expansion will be 10C0 19 by 20 to the power 10 plus 10C1 19 by 20 to the power 9 1 by 20 plus dash dash dash. This is for what? 19 by 20 stands for what? Non-defective. Okay. What did he ask? He asked find the probability that in a sample of 10 items will include not more than one defective. So this first one represents no defective. This represents one defective. Simplify both of them, you get the answer. So this is 10C0 is 1, 19 by 20 to the power 10 plus 10C1 is 10, 19 by 20 to the power 9 into 1 by 10. So this 10 and 10 will get cancelled. Add both of them. If you add both of them, we can say 19 by 20 to the power 9 common. If you take out common, you will be left by 19 by 20. Here nothing is there, so 1. We can take 19 by 20 to the power 9 common. So 19 by 20 plus 1. So the answer is 19 plus 20, 39 by 20 into 19 by 20 to the power 9. This is the answer. So we have to read the question very, very carefully and accordingly we have to solve. Let us move to the next problem. Yes, the probability that a bulb produced by a factory will fuse after 150 days of use is 0.05. What is this 0.05? The bulb which a factory is producing, The moment you bring it and start using it, it will get fused after 150 days, means after 5 months it will get fused. So, we can say P is probability of a bulb to get fused after 150 days. And how much is it? 0.05. 0.05, if you simplify, remove the decimal by 100, it is again 5 by 100 or 1 by 20, just like previous problem. So, in that case, what will be Q? Probability of a bulb to not to get fused after 150 days. How much it will be? 1 minus 1 by 20, it is 19 by 20. So, what will be our binomial expansion? Q plus P to the power n, 19 by 20 plus 1 by 20 to the power. How many bulbs? Find the probability that out of 5 such bulbs, number of bulbs are 5, so its power is 5. So, how do you write the expansion? The expansion can be written as 5C0 19 by 20 to the power 5 plus 5C1 19 by 20 to the power 4 into 1 by 20 plus 5C2 19 by 20 to the power 3 1 by 20 square plus 5C3 19 by 20 to the power 2 1 by 20 to the power 3 plus 5C4 19 by 20 to the power 1 into 1 by 20 to the power 4 plus 5C5 1 by 20 to the power 5. This is the binomial expansion, and once we write this, we can answer anything. First thing, what he says, find the probability that out of 5 such bulbs, none will fuse after 150 days. None of them will fuse. None of them will fuse means they will not fuse. So, what will be the answer for the first one? For the first one, the answer is this first term. It is equal to 5C0 19 by 20 to the power 5. Why? Why it is so? Because 19 by 20 stands for not to get fused. 1 by 20 stands for get fused. So, 19 by 20 to the power 5. What is 5C0? It is 1. So, the answer is 19 by 20 to the power 5. This is the answer. You do not need to simplify. Come to the second question. Not more than 1 means 1 can get fused or none can get fused, but not more than 1. So, it is basically sum of first two terms. So, in the first case, it is 5C0 19 by 20 to the power 5 plus 5C1 19 by 20 to the power 4 into 1 by 20. What the first one is showing? None of them are fused. What is the second term is showing? One of them get fused. Not more than 1. So, it is 0 or 1. Okay? Probability of 0 or 1. 0 means this one, 1 means that. Simplify it. How to simplify? 5C0 is 1. So, it is basically 19 by 20 to the power 5 plus 5C1 is 5. 5 by 20 is 1 by 4. 1 by 4 into 19 by 20 to the power 4. What is common in them? 19 by 20. 19 by 20 to the power 4 is common. So what will be left? 19 by 20 plus 1 by 4. How do you simplify? Take LCM as 20. So you will get 19 plus 5, 24 by 20. 24 by 20 is 6 by 5. So 6 by 5, 19 by 20 to the power 4. This simplification is LCM is 20. So it is 19 plus 5, 24 by 20, 4 5s and 4 6. So it came 6 by 5. That is the explanation. This is how we solve the second case. Now come to the third case. Third case we will do it here, or we will just rub the whole thing. We cannot rub the whole thing because this also will go off. So, okay, first we will do the third one. What he says? More than one. More than one are fused. What do you mean by more than one? There are total how many? 5. So 2 are fused, 3 are fused, 4 are fused, 5 are fused. So how will you find 2, 3, 4, 5 are fused? From total, total is 1, from total subtract this case. Why? This particular case shows that 1 or none are fused. 0 are fused, 1 are fused. If you subtract these two, you will get 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the third case, more than 1, probability of more than 1, that will be equal to 1 minus 0 or 1 fused, which is nothing but the second problem. So what was the answer for the second problem? It is 1 minus 6 by 5 into 19 by 20 to the power 4. You don't need to simplify. That itself is the answer. Okay, because that includes 0 and 1. So 0 and 1 if you subtract, you will get 2 are fused, 3 are fused, 4 are fused, 5 are fused. Okay. Now come to the last question. What he says? At least one will fuse. What do you mean by at least one? At least one basically means 1 or more. So from total, if you subtract none of them are fused, automatically you get the answer. So basically for this question, the answer is from 1 you subtract none. None means 19 by 20 to the power 5. That itself is the answer. No need to simplify. From 1 is the total. From 1 we are subtracting, none of them are fused. So what will be left? 1 or more are fused. So that will be the answer. We will move to the next question. In an examination, 20 questions of true or false typed and asked. True and false type are asked. Suppose a student tosses a fair coin. Now, there are boys who don't study. So what do? They find some shortcuts. So what is the shortcut he is following? He is having a coin, he tosses. If head comes, he puts right, true. If tail comes, he writes false. Okay. So there are 20 such questions. A student tosses a fair coin to determine his answer to each of the questions. If the coin falls heads, he answers it as true. If it falls tails, he answers it as false. Find the probability that he answers at least 12 questions correctly. Correctly means true. It is not that what he wrote true or true. It is just that he has ticked as true. Okay. So don't get confused. He might have ticked 12 true, but it may happen that none of them are true also. So it is not that this 12 correctly does not mean that he is going to get marks. He just marked true. Okay. So we can say that number of trials are 20. Why? Because there are 20 questions. So, we can say that n is equal to 20. Okay. What is the possibility for him to tick as true? He ticks a question as true if when he tosses a coin he gets head. What is the probability of getting a head? 1 by 2. So, P is probability of true. In other words, getting head. What is the probability of getting head? 1 by 2. So, in that case what will be Q? Probability of false. What do you mean by false? Getting tails. And we know that the probability is again 1 by 2. So, write the expansion. What is the expansion? Q plus P to the power n. 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 to the power 20. How many questions are there? 20 questions are there. What is that he is asking? He says find the probability that he answers at least 12 questions correctly. At least 12 means what? 12 questions, 13 questions, 14 questions, 15 questions, 16 questions, 17 questions, 18 questions, 19 questions, 20th question. This many questions he does it correctly. That's what he is asking. So, we can say it is, so the probability of of 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20 questions true. That's what we want to find out. Now, in this expansion, how many terms are going to be there? Since the power is 20, there are going to be 21 questions. There are going to be 21 questions. So, how do you find for 12? We will say this is going to be equal to 20C12 1 by 2 to the power, because P and Q both are 1 by 2, 1 by 2. Whatever is less here, that gets added there. So, it is 20 minus 12 into 1 by 2 to the power 12. Next one, 20C13 1 by 2 to the power 20 minus 13 into 1 by 2 to the power 3, and it goes on. What will be the last one? Last one is going to be 20C20 1 by 2 to the power 20 minus 20 into 1 by 2 to the power 20. Now, observe 1 by 2 to the power 20 minus 12. 20 minus 12 means what? 8. 1 by 2 to the power 12. 8 plus 12 makes it 20. So, in other words, we can write it as 20C12 plus 20C13 plus 20C14 plus 20C15 plus 20C16 plus 20C17 plus 20C18 plus 20C19 plus 20C20, whole thing is multiplied by 1 by 2 to the power 20. You don't need to simplify it, just leave it like that, that itself is the answer. How do we write 1 by 2 to the power 20 directly? Because whichever term you take, now for example this term, what is its power? 1 by 2 to the power 7, 1 by 2 to the power 13. 13 plus 7 makes it 20. So, in that way 1 by 2 to the power 20 is common for all of them. Okay? We will move on to the next question. Another examination related question. What he says? on a multiple choice questions, on a multiple choice examination, you know all the competitive examinations are conducted based upon multiple choice questions. Means a question may have 3 answers or 4 answers or 5 answers. The candidate has to tick on the correct answer. Okay. So, on a multiple choice examination with 3 possible answers for each of the 5 questions, what is the probability that a candidate would get 4 or more correct answers just by guessing? Guessing is nothing different than the previous question. In the previous question, how you are doing? There also he was guessing. How he was guessing? By tossing a coin. Okay. So, he is just guessing. He does not know the answer. Okay. So, how many questions are there? 5 questions are there. Now, it is something like this. The first question has got answers A, B, C. Similarly, second question has got answer A, B, C. Third question has got answer A, B, C. Fourth question has got answer A, B, C. And fifth question also has got answer A, B, C. He is guessing and ticking it. So, what is the probability of writing the answer? Out of 3, he will choose either A or B or C. Okay. So, probability of writing the answer, I do not want to say he is giving the correct answer. He will give correct answer only if he knows the correct answer. Since he does not know the correct answer, he is simply ticking. Whatever he comes to his mind, A or B or C. So, the probability of guessing, assuming that that is correct, is 1 by 3. One of the answers only he will do. Okay. So, here we will say P stands for probability of guessing correct answer. Correct answer according to him, remember this is not the right answer and it is 1 by 3. In that case, what will be Q? Probability of guessing wrong answer according to the student, not according to the right answer. So, what will be the expansion? Expansion is Q plus P to the power n. It will become 2 by 3 plus 1 by 3 to the power 5. Why 5? Because there are only 5 questions. N is equal to 5. You can write its expansion. Its expansion will have how many answers? Its expansion will have how many terms? Since power is 5, there are going to be 6 terms. Okay. If you wish, you can write it as 2 by 3 5C0 2 by 3 to the power 5 1 by 3 to the power 0 5C1 2 by 3 to the power 4 1 by 3 plus 5C2 2 by 3 cube 1 by 3 square 5C3 2 by 3 square 1 by 3 cube plus 5C4 2 by 3 to the power 1 1 by 3 to the power 4 5C5 2 by 3 to the power 0 and 1 by 5 to the power 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because power is 5, number of terms are 6. Now answer whatever he is asking. What is that he is asking? He says, find what is the probability that a candidate would get 4 or more correct answers? 4 answers correct or 5 answers correct? This is the answer. 5C4 stands for 4 answers correct. 5C5 stands for 5 answers correct. So, if you add these two, you get the answer. So, we can write here probability that 4 or 5 correct answers. equal to that. So simplify it. If you want, you can write it, means this is nothing but this particular part, which is equal to 5C4. 5C4 can be written as 5C1, 2 by 3 into 1 by 3 to the power 4 plus, sorry, 5C4 it is, 5C4 can be written as 5C1. Similarly, 5C5 is nothing but, if you want, you can write it as 4 also. Both are same. This is not 5, it is 3. So it is 1 by 3 to the power 5. Simplify. 5C4 is 5. 5 into 2, 10 by 3, or this 3 can be taken inside. So you can say 5C4 is 5 because it is 5C1, 5 into 2 is 10, 10 into 1 by 3 to the power 5 plus 5C5 is 1, so it is 1 by 3 to the power 5. Take 1 by 3 to the power 5 out, you will get 11 into 1 by 3 to the power 5. What is 1 by 3 to the power 5? 3 3s are 9, 3s are 27, 3s are 81, 3s are 243. So you can say the answer is 11 by 243. We will move to the next question. The question is, find the probability of getting 5 exactly twice in 7 throws of a die. You are rolling a die. What is the probability of getting 5? Getting any number is 1 by 6. So, P can be written as probability of getting 5 in rolling a die. How much is it? It is 1 by 6. In that case, what will be Q? Probability of not getting 5 in rolling a die. What do you mean by not getting 5? Getting 1, getting 2, getting 3, getting 4, getting 6. So, what is its probability? 5 by 6. How many times you have done? 7 times we have done. So, n is equal to 7. So, this expansion Q plus P to the power n can be written as 5 by 6 plus 1 by 6 to the power 7. Why? Because 5 by 6 is not getting 5, 1 by 6 is getting 5, to the power 7 is he has done it 7 times. Now, what is our question? What is that he is asking? He says, find the probability of getting 5 exactly twice. Twice means only 2 times. Okay? So, probability of getting 5 2 times. So, what is going to be? You can use that NCR formula 7C2, 5 by 6 and 1 by 6. Here twice we want, 2 times we want. So, automatically this will be 5. 7 minus 2 is 5. So, simplify it. How to simplify? 7C2 is 7 into 6 by 2 into 1 into 5 to the power 5 by 6 to the power 5 plus 1 by, not plus, it is into 1 by 6 square. Try simplifying as much possible. How to simplify? 1, 6 can be cancelled. Anything else? No. So, what is left? we are left with, here remember 1 6 is left. Okay, first we will write down what is left. It is 7 by 2 into 5 to the power 5 and 6 to the power 6. This is the answer. Simplification, yes, you can always write the simplification by multiplying 5 times. 5 5s are 25, 5s are 125, 5s are 625, then 3125. So, like that you can write, or you can just leave it off. We do not need to waste time. Just leave it off like that, that itself is the answer. Okay? Because he is not particular to test your arithmetic, he is particular to know your knowledge about probability. Yes, we will move on to the next question. He says, it is known that 10% of certain articles manufactured are defective. In a company, articles are made and 10% of them are defective. See, the defective items can be the reason, means they get defective for many reasons. Maybe the negligence of the person, maybe because of material, maybe because of machine. There can be many reasons, we are not concerned about it. But 10% of the items produced by a company are defective. So, we can say actually this particular thing has no meaning for this question, this is for the next question. So, we can say P stands for defective items. How many items are defective? 10%. So, it is 10 by 100, in other terms 1 by 10. If 10% are defective, Q stands for non-defective items. Non-defective, it is 90 by 100 or 9 by 10. It is known that 10% of the certain articles manufactured are defective. What is the probability that in a random sample of 12 such articles, 9 are defective? So, how many articles he is choosing? 12 articles he is choosing. So, n is equal to 6. Sorry, n is equal to 12. Okay, so the expansion is Q plus P to the power n can be written as 9 by 10 plus 1 by 10 to the power 12. Now, does he want all the things? No. He only wants, find the probability that in a random sample of 12 such articles, 9 are defective. So, how do you find 9 are defective? 12C9, 9 by 10 to the power 12 minus 9 and 1 by 10. What 1 by 10 stands for? Defective. So, how many? It is 9. This is what we want to find out. So, find out what is 12C9. 12C9 can be written as 12C3. 9 by 10 to the power 3 and 1 by 10 to the power 9. 12C3. How will you write 12C3? In fact, you can just leave it off like that, that itself will be the answer, or it can be written as 12C3, 12 into 11 into 10 upon 3 into 2 into 1, 9 cube, 9 into 9 into 9 by 10 cube and 10 to the power 9, we can say 10 to the power 12. Whatever simplification you can make, you can make. 3 2s are 6, 6 2s are 12. Okay. 1 10 can be cancelled from here, 11 will be left. Whatever is left, you can write it as answer. For example, here 9 9s are 81 and 81 into 9, 729 into 22. Yes, this is the product of numerator. 9 into 9 into 9, 9 into 9 81, 81 into 9 729, 729 into 22 is 16 038 divided by 10 to the power 11. This is the answer. 10 to the power 11 means you put 11 zeros after 1, that is all. Okay. So, with this we come to a close of this particular chapter called probability. Very interesting chapter. We have done it in 6 sessions. After this we are left with only one topic, that is called linear programming, which we will take up in the next session, and it is a very small topic. We can do it in 3 sessions and come to a close of the entire syllabus of second PUC mathematics. So, thank you for your patient listening. I am sure you will find probability very interesting. So, whatever problems we have not attempted, those will be your assignment problems. So, please do those problems. Thank you. Sai Ram.